biggest chip on their shoulder. See, this is what we do. We take anything and make it into a bit.
We do.
We'll take anything and make it into a segment.
Okay with that.
You'll get used to it. Anyway, J-Mac, let's start with you. Who enters this year with the biggest chip on his shoulder?
I'm going to go with a coach, and I'm going to say Nick Sirianni. The reason being, all this guy has done as a head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles is win. His winning percentage is at the very top all time with names like Don Shula, Bill Belichick. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, winning 1. But still, we'll go into a season like this year and say, you know what? If the Eagles don't start fast, is Nick Sirianni coaching for his job? That gives him the biggest chip because when you're coaching in Philly, it comes with the territory. He's going to have his boys ready to play this season.
Jeff, you buying that? I mean, what is your sense of the stakes in Philadelphia for the coach, the quarterback? Let's focus on the coach.
One day they're going to have to build a statue of Nick Sirianni outside the link, and I hope it's with him and his middle fingers in the air facing the direction of the stadium.
I don't know if they'll do that, Joe.
Right.
It is the most unbelievable relationship in the history of a coach and a market. All he has done is win. Yes, I'm sure he has a chip on his shoulder, but at the same time, I don't know who exactly we should blame for putting it there. If he continues to win, absolutely, he deserves the respect that he gets.
What is your sense of that for the Philadelphia? We and I have not had a chance to talk about it. All the pressure, all the spotlight, all the microscope, was particularly in this case on the coach.
Yeah, this is what Philly does. They did it to Doug Peterson, who has a statue outside the stadium, and they said, hey, we need to win, and we need to win now. If you can't do it, I don't care if you already won. We need to win again. If you can't do it, get out. Yeah, this is just how Philly does it.
Yes, in Philly, they're going to put, you know what, they're going to put the general manager in the Hall of Fame. Everybody else is expendable.
Right.
And look, maybe that's the way it should be. He brings in the right pieces, right places. But the departure of A.J. Brown, now we're really going to find out what the coach has and what the quarterback has.
And it's not only the departure of A.J. Brown, but it's the new offensive coordinator in Sean Mannion and how we've seen the roller coasters of offensive coordinators under Nick Sirianni. But like I start off, when you win that much as a head coach, there's nothing more important than winning football games. It's a production league, and he has been highly successful.
All right, chocolate chip cookie day. Next chip. Gerald, who do you think has the biggest chip on their shoulder entering the season?
This may come as a surprise to some people, but I'm going to go with who I believe is a top 10 defensive player in this league, and Maxx Crosby. Let me tell you why. He got drafted to the Raiders. He's dominated the league for the last 5 years, and they said, hey, Max, guess what? We good. You can go. He went to Baltimore. Baltimore checked him and said, you know what, Max? We good. Go on back. And now you're hearing that Max possibly could be on the trading block again. Max is saying, okay, y'all think I don't have it? I'm going to show everybody. So Max is coming into this season with the biggest chip on his shoulder with a point to prove.
I 100% buy this one. What do you think?
Absolutely. Maxx Crosby already plays the game like he's mad and angry at every single body. His nickname is Mad Max.
Right.
So, yes, of course he's going in because he really thought he was a Baltimore Raven. But we've always seen him talk about the Raiders in high regard and how happy he is to be a Raider. It doesn't matter what happens to Maxx Crosby in an offseason. He is going to play angry 100% of the snaps, 100% of the time. That's just who he is.
Jeff, I mean, does the league still expect Crosby to get traded at some point?
That's a tough one. I don't think so, just because of the situation that he's in right now is similar to what it was after the whole Ravens debacle. I think that they've kind of all stepped back and said maybe the best situation is for him to continue to play. That being said, would it surprise me if tomorrow we heard that he'd been unloaded and the Cowboys suddenly were the ones to pull the trigger? Not necessarily. I think that as much disrespect as he gets, I think that there is also plenty of people around the league who understand that this is a potential future Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. And look, it is not my take on this is the opposite of disrespect. I think Maxx Crosby is closer to the end of his greatness than the beginning. He needs a chance to be on a team. He needs to be the final piece on a team that can win. The Raiders are at the very beginning of what they hope is a journey that will take them. They have a young coach, young quarterback. They're building something. Hopefully they do it the right way. They have a chance to do it, and we'll see. But they're not winning a championship this year. Maxx Crosby gets traded to a place that could win a championship this year. Baltimore made sense. The Cowboys, to me, would make sense.
It would make sense. The challenge is when one team and the Baltimore Ravens looked at him and they decided not to pass him on the physical, where's the team that is going to decide to give up whatever it is the Raiders are seeking from him to be able to execute that trade? That's my problem of not knowing whether that will happen.
Probably don't get 2 1s, right? That was the thing. He went for 2 1s to the Ravens. The Raiders are going to have to live without taking the 2 1s.
Yeah, I mean, but like this is Maxx we talking about, and wherever Maxx is at, he's going to be a value piece. This is real Myles Garrett-esque. You know, he's like what Cleveland is doing.
Right.
We want to go younger. We want to figure this thing out. But I tell you what, Maxx is pissed off. I know that personally.
And good. and he should be. And look, I mean, the premier pass rushers in this league, Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett, Maxx Crosby's right in that category. I mean, you know, wherever you put the levels of all this. Okay, who else has a chip on their shoulder? Jeff Darlington, who would you think enters this season with the biggest chip on their shoulder?
We got some really good candidates here. I'm going to say Baker Mayfield. He could wind up with a statue just like Nick Sirianni someday. Same gesture. We just don't know where it's pointing at because it feels like Baker Mayfield always has the chip on his shoulder. But this year specifically, listen, he has already been cast off. The Bucs got him out of the discount bin, and they also did help resurrect his career. Now the question, of course, is how do they make this all work out? I understand from an organizational standpoint. I understand from Baker's standpoint. I think this is a legitimate case to be made from both sides. Right now, the problem is not necessarily the money. I think that it's a deal over. I know it's a deal over $50 million, $52, $53 million a year. The problem is the years. Baker wants more of them. By the way, the most interesting part of all of this, and perhaps the case can be made for Crosby as well, is that Baker Mayfield's chip on his shoulder, the biggest benefactor, is going to be the team that put him in that place because they're going to get the best version of Baker Mayfield this season.
What do you think?
This is who Baker Mayfield is, from a kid from Austin, Texas, who walked on to Texas Tech and became a starter. Then he went to the best school in the country, University of Oklahoma, and not only won the Heisman, was the #1 overall pick. Go to Cleveland, takes them to the playoffs. They threw him away. Then he goes to Carolina, wins that starting job. We seen him get off a plane in L.A. and win that Thursday night football game, but he kept telling everybody, I'm injured, but I'm healthy now. The Bucs gave him a chance. He's only taken them to the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years. He's used to this. He's used to proving people wrong, and I'm so excited. You know who else is a benefactor of this?
Yeah.
Gerald, because I grew up a Tampa Bay Bucs fan. I played there, so I'm so excited to see what Baker's about to do.
It's such an interesting conversation because when you hear Jeff say they offer him a 2-year deal in the $50 million range, we'll look at that and say, well, they gave him what he's worth. This seems like an easy thing to be able to figure out that contract. But to your point, Baker doesn't see it that way. He felt disrespected. I want to see how this plays out throughout the course of the season. If the play is high, how is Baker and the teammates and everyone handling it? Does a contract conversation come up? If they have a little bit of dip, how is it handled there? This is something that's going to be looming over the top of their head, I think, all season long.
Final question, and by far the most important of the conversation. Jeff Darlington, agree or disagree? Chocolate chip is without question the Super Bowl champion of all cookies.
It's a dynasty, but I mean, peanut butter's definitely won some titles in there at some point.
Huh?
No. Chocolate chip. Get him off the screen.
Yes,
Jeff, chocolate
See
chip.
you later,
above all
Jeff.
comers.
Yes, go away.
Absolutely. It's the chocolate chip. And so I have to tell you, I'm married 29 years. If you have dinner with my wife, you're going to discover 2 things immediately. One, the menu is a suggestion. She's never going to order anything the way it normally comes. And second, when they ask for dessert, she's going to say, do you have chocolate chip cookies? Guaranteed, we always have to have chocolate. That's literally every chocolate chip, the #1 cookie?
Absolutely.